The sudden discovery of Matthew Perry's missing laptop has sparked a gripping mystery. Critical files, including a rumored memoir, have gone missing, leading to a global search for answers in a puzzling series of events. A startling development indicates that a laptop, thought to be the late Matthew Perry's, has been found, with a large amount of its files missing. Up to 334 files were either erased or cannot be located, according to sources with knowledge of the probe. Most importantly, there was no indication of the manuscript that was supposed to be Perry's impending biography on the device. The memoir had attracted a lot of attention due to its purported insights into the Hollywood industry. The finding of the laptop has sparked a plethora of theories and conjecture. Some speculate that the lost memoir may have included information so important that it was deleted on purpose, while others suspect accidental data loss or perhaps a publicity hoax. The mystery surrounding Perry's last days and the allegedly explosive material in his memoir has grown as a result of the file's disappearance. Authorities and computer forensic specialists are presently investigating the laptop to see whether it has been tampered with and to recover any erased data. While this is going on, the actor's devoted followers around the world are anxiously awaiting any updates in the hopes of getting a peek into his final days' thoughts. The mystery surrounding Matthew Perry's lost laptop files grew when it was revealed by an unnamed insider that Perry had backed up his memoir to a different location, raising the possibility of a physical copy or additional digital backup. This gave rise to a fresh surge of irrational conjectures and conspiracy theories, prompting some fans to start their own amateur investigations. A shadowy character, going by the name JD, entered the fray in the interim and asserted to be the only one with inside knowledge of Perry's memoir's contents. JD started posting cryptic messages on secret forums, implying shocking disclosures that would rock Hollywood to its foundation. Many celebrities had privately discussed the validity of JD's statements and their possible ramifications, which alarmed the entertainment business. The Perry family released a statement amid the confusion, pleading for people to respect their privacy and denouncing unfounded rumors. "We're going through a difficult period as we come to terms with the death of our cherished Matthew. We ask that everyone exercise caution and refrain from drawing hasty judgments," the message said. When renowned cybersecurity expert Dr. Lina Martinez said she may have found a way to recover the destroyed files, the official investigation took a drastic turn. But Dr. Martinez vanished from sight a few days before her planned news presentation. The study she had done on the Perry laptop case disappeared, and her office was broken into. A spectacular media frenzy with more questions than answers resulted from the blending of Hollywood drama, tech espionage, and cyber mystery. The entire world was glued to the screen, waiting to see where the story would go next. Like many young actors in his day, Matthew Perry had a strong desire to be famous. Perry expressed his intense desire for recognition in an interview with the New York Times in 2002, likening his zeal to steam coming out of his ears. In 1994, this desire became a reality when he was chosen to play the witty Chandler Bing in the hugely successful television series Friends. This casting turned out to be a game changer for Perry's career, especially after a string of setbacks at the office. But even though Friends became wildly popular, with some 34 million viewers in its first season, the actor's personal life was complicated. Beneath the glittering exterior of his lifestyle, he was struggling with extreme loneliness, which was made worse by his alcoholism. Perry had just turned 24 when he landed a job on Friends, so his problems with alcohol were still in their early stages, and he was able to control them. But as the years passed, his illness worsened alarmingly, requiring him to take up to 55 Vicodin pills every day. At the height of his Friends journey, he weighed a mere 128 pounds, which raised severe concerns. Perry knew he had to address his addiction, but he could not quite figure out how to accomplish it. He revealed in a thorough interview with People magazine that he was so dependent on alcohol that he would not have been deterred by the possibility of being arrested by the police. In a startling admission, Perry said that he couldn't remember anything from seasons 3 through 6 of Friends when speaking with Steve Evans of BBC Radio 2. Perry has always insisted that he didn't resort to alcohol on purpose. Rather, he really enjoyed the effect it had on him. His relationship with drinking took a nasty turn in 1997 following a jet ski accident that resulted in a Vicodin prescription. This mixture further entrenched him in the maze of alcoholism and even affected his behavior at work. Surprisingly, he followed a special code: never drink before work, even if it meant arriving at work extremely hungover. In 1997, Perry entered the month-long program at the Hazel Den facility in Minnesota with the intention of recovering, and he was able to achieve brief sobriety there. But his internal conflict continued, and in 2001, it resulted in a 2-week hospital admission due to alcohol-induced pancreatitis. Perry sought assistance when his health deteriorated, even while Serving Sarah was being filmed. In order to put his health first, the filming was put on hold for 2 months. Perry returned to Friends and finished Serving Sarah following a rigorous 2.5 months at a remote recovery facility, looking like a completely changed person. In that same 2002 interview with the New York Times, Perry acknowledged that his desire to give up alcohol was motivated more by the terrifying prospect of dying than by a sincere desire to do so. In 2013, he established the Perry House, a sober living facility in Malibu, as a selfless attempt to assist others going through similar struggles. Perry is quite proud of his ability and readiness to help anyone who comes to him for advice who is struggling with alcoholism. In 2018, Perry experienced a serious medical situation due to a gastrointestinal perforation that required immediate surgical repair. The well-known Friends actor, 49, was on the verge of passing away after an opiate addiction caused his intestines to burst. He described this horrific experience, telling how doctors told him he had only 2% chance of surviving. To help with his breathing, an extracorporeal membrane oxygenation system that effectively mimics lung functions was put in place. Considering his poor chances of survival, he compares his situation to a frantic Hail Mary play. His physical scars from the 14 stomach surgeries that followed serve as a daily reminder of his devotion to sobriety. Speaking to reporters, Perry shared some wise advice from his therapist. He should imagine living his entire life attached to a colostomy bag if the urge to use OxyContin ever materialized. When it comes to his network of support, Perry regularly highlights the unwavering assistance he had from friends and coworkers, particularly during the hectic times he spent filming during his addiction phase. Not only did they have a theatrical connection with Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, and David Schwimmer, but they also openly and privately showed support for Perry. Their understanding and compassion were invaluable. Even while he recognizes the benefits of his wealth and notoriety, he has stated that he would give it all up to have avoided the experience of addiction. Interestingly, he praises Friends for its therapeutic value in addition to its financial success. The HBO Max reunion special from 2021 shows how strong their relationship is still. Co-creator of Friends, Marta Kaufman, depicted the pain of witnessing Perry's struggles. She remembered his homecoming with nostalgia from the first episode of the last season of the show. She went into further detail about the system of support that was put in place for him at this time. This arrangement was discussed frequently among the crew and was known to most of them in part. Among other media, Kaufman highlighted the group's overall positive energy and support for Perry in a 2020 interview with Us Weekly. Perry provides an honest account of his life in his soon-to-be published memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, which is scheduled to be released on November 1st. He provides an unvarnished description of the terrifying time when he was just 49 years old and facing certain death, explaining the consequences of an opiate overdose-related ruptured colon. Through documenting his 2-week coma, 5 months in the hospital, and 9 months of living with a colostomy bag, Perry believes that this is an appropriate time for him to share his story, especially now that he is free of the chains of addiction and alcoholism. This decision was heavily impacted by the possibility of inspiring others to change for the better. Perry successfully maintained his sobriety during the 9th season of Friends, despite the fact that his journey to sobriety was fraught with difficulties, most notably during the show's production. Perry is candid while discussing his moments of relapse in his memoir. He admits to receiving rehab treatments on 15 different occasions across a range of time periods. Perry was at a healthier stage of life and knew the key techniques to maintain his sobriety. Although he chose to remain silent about how long he had been sober, he emphasized that earlier transgressions do not negate the lessons learned and gains made during previous periods of recovery. He just pointed out one change, which is the start date of the restarted sobriety period. Perry's unwavering commitment to helping those struggling with addiction is particularly admirable. The night he was admitted to the hospital, he was the only one alive out of 5 people who were connected to an ECMO machine. Such a dangerous experience has made him contemplate deeply and made him more appreciative and humble. According to him, a lot of people would be shocked by how severe his hardships were and how close he came to death. However, even if the result would have shocked a lot of people, it wouldn't have come as a total shock if he had died. Perry hoped that people would relate to his story and understand that addiction is still an objective enemy. Anyone can suffer from it, regardless of their achievements or social standing. Despite the dark moments and hardships that marred his journey, it also fortified him in a multitude of ways. He emphasized that in spite of its depressing moments, his narrative has an optimistic tone that highlights his perseverance and forward-thinking path towards better times.